Admiral Marcus Cole stood in Earth Command, watching the reports come in from Kepler Station. The battle was still happening. Captain Harper and her team were fighting hard, but they could not hold out forever. The Zethian ship was too powerful. Marcus had to act fast. He turned to his officers. Captain Derek Walsh was the best fighter pilot Earth had ever trained. The man had won 30 battles in space combat, but nothing had prepared him for what was coming. "Walsh, I want you to take a squadron of fighters," Marcus said. "Go to Kepler Station now. Do whatever you can to help Captain Harper. We will send more support behind you." Derek nodded. He did not smile. He understood the danger. "Yes, sir. We will not let them take the station." Within minutes, Derek was in his fighter. He was a tall man with dark hair and a strong jaw. He had been a pilot since he was young. His hands were steady as he prepared for flight. Around him, 9 other pilots were getting ready in their own fighters. They were the best Earth had to offer. The squadron launched from Earth and used a special gate to travel through space faster. In real space, the journey would take weeks. Through the gate, it took hours. They came out near Kepler Station just as the battle was getting worse. Derek saw the Zethian ship. It was huge. His fighter was like a small bird compared to a mountain. But Derek was not afraid. He had trained for this. "All fighters, listen up," Derek said into his radio. "This is a hostile first contact situation. These aliens are attacking human citizens. We will defend them. Spread out and attack the ship's weapon systems. Watch for their anti-fighter weapons." The human fighters moved fast. They flew in patterns that no Zethian pilot had ever seen before. Derek rolled his fighter under the ship's guns. His weapons fired. The Zethian defenses tried to track him, but he was too quick. "They are not expecting this kind of attack," Derek said over the radio. One of his pilots, a woman named Patricia Grant, was flying near Derek. She was the second best pilot in the squadron. She saw an opening and dove toward the ship's main engines. Her weapon struck. One engine went dark. "Good hit, Grant." Derek shouted that the battle was fierce. The Zethians had bigger weapons, but the human fighters had something better: speed, skill, and courage. Every human pilot fought like they were protecting their own family, because they were. Lisa Harper was one of them. Everyone on that station was human. Admiral Krell watched from his command chair. He was shocked. These primitive creatures were actually fighting back. Not just fighting back, but winning small victories. One of his weapon systems was damaged. 3 smaller ships were destroyed. This was not supposed to happen. Krell was angry. He ordered a full attack. His massive ship opened fire with everything it had. The station took heavy damage. But before he could finish his attack, more human ships arrived. These were bigger than the fighters. These were battle cruisers from Earth's defense fleet. The lead ship was called the HMS Liberty. It was commanded by a woman named Sarah Mitchell. She was 50 years old and had been in space for 30 years. She knew how to lead a warship in battle. "All guns fire at will," Sarah said calmly. The HMS Liberty fired its weapons. They were human weapons, built by human engineers, but they were getting stronger. Earth had been studying alien technology that had fallen into human hands years before. Scientists like Dr. Patricia Lane had worked around the clock to understand it and copy it. The battle grew even more intense. Now there were human ships fighting the Zethian fleet. More and more humans arrived. More fighters. More battle cruisers. More soldiers ready to fight. Admiral Krell realized something that made him angry. He had attacked the wrong species. He had attacked a species that would not surrender. A species that would sacrifice everything to protect its people. A species that got stronger, faster, and smarter with every battle. He sent a message to his commanders across the galaxy. He told them that the Zethian Empire would crush all human resistance. But even as he said it, he knew he was losing. The battle at Kepler Station had turned. The human forces were not just defending. They were starting to win. In the science labs on Earth, Dr. Patricia Lane was working hard with her team. They had captured some Zethian technology from a small attack ship that had crashed on Earth weeks before. Now they understood how it worked. They were making copies. They were making it better. "We can give the pilots weapons that match the Zethians," Patricia told her team. "Not stronger yet, but equal. And humans are better pilots. Humans think faster under pressure. That is our real strength." The battle continued for hours. Finally, Admiral Krull gave the order to retreat. He pulled his main ship back. The Zethians ran. They ran from humans. Humans had made them retreat. When the battle ended, people on Kepler Station came out from hiding. They had lived. Many were hurt. The station was damaged. But they were alive, and something had changed in the galaxy. Something important. News of the battle spread fast. Humans had fought an alien empire and won. Humans had shown courage and skill. Humans had proven that they were not weak or helpless. But Admiral Krull was not done. He was ashamed. His pride was hurt. He had lost to creatures he thought were primitive. He made a new plan. He would gather more ships. He would come back stronger. He would destroy humanity and prove that the Zethian Empire was the strongest power in the galaxy. He did not know that this was his biggest mistake. He did not know that he was about to teach the galaxy a lesson that would never be forgotten. Never provoke humans when they are fighting for their homes and their families. Captain Lisa Harper stood at the observation window of Kepler Station and looked at the stars above her. The research colony on this small moon had been peaceful for 3 years. Scientists from Earth studied alien life forms, and everyone worked together in harmony. Lisa was proud of what they had built here. She had left Earth 15 years ago to explore space. Now, at 42 years old, she was the commander of one of humanity's most important outposts. On this morning, the sensors picked up something unusual. A large ship was approaching. Lisa did not know what it was. Her team worked fast to identify the vessel. It was not from any known human colony. It was something new, something unknown. Lisa walked to the communications room. A young officer named Henry Davis sat at the controls. He looked nervous. His hands shook a little as he worked. "Can you get a signal to them?" Lisa asked. "I am trying now, Captain," Henry said. "But I do not know if they will understand our language." The ship came closer. It was huge. Much bigger than any human ship Lisa had ever seen. The metal hull was dark and covered with strange markings. Lights blinked along the sides. Lisa felt her heart beat faster. A voice came through the speakers. It was deep and cold. The words were clear, but the accent was strange. "I am Admiral Krull of the Zethian Empire. Your colony is now the property of the Zethian Empire. You will surrender immediately and submit to our rule. Any resistance will be crushed." Lisa took a deep breath. She had trained for this moment, though she had never thought it would really happen. First contact with an alien power. This was the most important moment of her life. "This is Captain Lisa Harper of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact with your people. We can talk about trade and friendship. We do not want war." There was silence. Then Admiral Krull spoke again. "You are primitive. Your ship is small and weak. Your weapons are like toys. We do not need to talk to you. You will obey the Zethian Empire, or you will die." Lisa looked at Henry. His face was pale. "Admiral Krull, we are peaceful people. We have families here. Children. Scientists. We only want to study and learn. Please, let us work together." "You have 1 hour to lower your defenses," Krull said. Then we will take control of your station. This is your only warning." The communication ended. Lisa felt the weight of the moment. 1 hour. She had to make a choice that would affect everyone on this station. Around her, people were scared. Some of them had never seen combat. Some had families waiting on Earth, but Lisa knew what she had to do. "Get me Earth Command," she said to Henry. Henry's fingers moved across the controls. A moment later, Admiral Marcus Cole appeared on the screen. He was in his 60s, with gray hair and a stern face. He had been Lisa's commanding officer for 5 years. "Admiral, we have hostile contact," Lisa said. She told him everything about Admiral Crow and the Zethian Empire. Marcus listened without speaking. When Lisa finished, he leaned forward. "How long until they attack?" he asked. 1 hour, sir." "You will not surrender, Captain." "That is an order. We do not know what surrender would mean to these aliens. You will activate your station's defenses. Buy us time." "Can you do that?" Lisa nodded. "Yes, sir. We can hold them for a while, but our weapons are limited." "Help is coming," Marcus said. "It will take time, but Earth will not let you fight alone. Hold the line, Captain Harper." The screen went dark. Lisa turned to her team. Everyone was watching her. She saw fear in their eyes, but she also saw determination. These were brave people. They had come to space because they wanted to explore and discover new things. Now they had to fight. "We are not surrendering," Lisa said. Her voice was calm and firm. "Everyone to battle stations. Get the children to the safe rooms below the station. I want every person who can help to prepare our defenses." People moved quickly. They had practiced drills, but drills were not the same as real danger. The station came alive with activity. Lisa moved through the corridors, checking on her people. She saw scared faces. She saw strong faces. She saw people who were ready to protect their home. In the weapons room, Lieutenant Kevin Stone was checking the station's defense guns. They were old technology. Earth had sent them 5 years ago. They were not strong, but they might work against an enemy who did not expect resistance. "How long can we last?" Lisa asked. Kevin looked at her with serious eyes. "If they bring that ship close enough, maybe we can damage it. But if they use their big weapons, we will not last long. But we will fight, Captain. We will show them that humans do not give up." Lisa put her hand on his shoulder. "I know you will. All of you. That is what humans do. We fight when we have to. We protect what is ours." The alarm sounded. The Zethian ship was moving into attack position. Lisa went to the observation window. She could see the massive ship now. It blocked out the stars. Weapons charged on both sides. The moment of truth had come. Lisa pressed the communication button. "All crew, this is the captain. They are coming. We are going to show the Zethian Empire that humans are not easy to defeat. We are going to protect this station and our people. Stand firm. Do your duty. This is our home." The Zethian weapons fired. The station shook. Alarm screamed. But the human defenses fired back. A laser beam hit the Zethian ship. It did not destroy it, but it hit. The aliens had learned something important. Humans would fight back. Lisa watched the battle unfold. Her people were brave. They worked together. They did not panic. They fought with everything they had. The station was damaged, but they held on. Each time the Zethians attacked, the humans answered with fire. It was only the beginning. Lisa knew that this first battle would change everything. The Zethian Empire had made a mistake. They had attacked humans. Now the galaxy would learn what that mistake would cost them. The war between humans and the Zethian Empire grew bigger every day. More battles happened. More ships fought in space. But something strange was happening. Humans were getting stronger, not weaker. On Earth, the people united like never before. Soldiers fought in space, but also ordinary people worked to help the war effort. Factory workers made weapons and ships. Teachers taught young people about the danger. Doctors worked to heal the wounded. Everyone did their part. One man named Kevin Stone was an engineer on a Zethian military base. He was not a soldier. He was a spy. He had snuck into the base pretending to be a Zethian worker. His real job was to learn the Zethian secrets and find a way to damage their weapons. For months, Kevin watched and waited. He learned where the weapons were stored. He learned how the base worked. He made friends with some Zethian workers. They did not treat him badly. Some even felt sorry for the humans. They thought the war was wrong. One night, Kevin was alone in the weapons storage room. This was his chance. He could not take the weapons away. There were too many, but he could break them. He could make them useless. Kevin worked through the night. He opened the weapons and removed the power sources. He mixed the fuel with water. He broke the computers that controlled them. When he was done, millions of credits of Zethian weapons were destroyed. But there was a problem. The guards found him. Kevin knew he could not escape. He could run, but they would catch him. And if they caught him, he would tell them where the other humans were hiding. Kevin made a choice. He activated the self-destruct system in the weapon storage. The explosion was huge. It destroyed the entire weapons facility. Kevin died in the explosion, but he saved the lives of thousands of human soldiers who were planning to attack the base. The story of Kevin Stone spread across Earth and among human soldiers everywhere. This engineer, with no combat training, had sacrificed himself for his people. He showed everyone that being a soldier was not just about having weapons and training. It was about having the courage to do what was right. Another human, a soldier named Victoria Grant, was fighting in the ground war. The Zethians had landed on a planet called New Hope. They were taking human prisoners. Victoria had orders to attack the enemy supply lines. But she heard that 50 human soldiers were being held captive. Victoria was a small woman, only 5 feet tall. Most people thought women could not be combat soldiers. But Victoria was one of the strongest and smartest fighters in the human army. She had won every battle she fought. She asked her commander for permission to rescue the prisoners. "You will not make it," her commander said. "The Zethian base is too strong. You will die for nothing." "Then I die," Victoria said. "But I will not leave my soldiers to be tortured." Victoria took a small team of 10 soldiers. She knew the enemy base well. She had studied the maps. She knew how the Zethians worked. She knew their weaknesses. The attack was brilliant. Victoria did not charge at the gates like a normal soldier. Instead, she led her team through the sewers under the base. They came up inside the prison block. The Zethians did not expect this. The rescue team fought hard. Weapons fired. Explosions happened. But Victoria was faster and smarter than the Zethian guards. She freed the 50 prisoners. She lost 2 of her team, but she got 48 soldiers to safety. News of Victoria's rescue spread fast. People saw her as a hero. But more important, they saw that humans could outsmart the Zethians. Humans had something the aliens did not have. Humans had creativity. Humans could think in new ways. Humans could find solutions when everything looked hopeless. On another planet, a medical worker named Susan Porter was working at a hospital. She treated human soldiers who were hurt in battle. But there was something different about Susan. When wounded Zethian soldiers came to the hospital, she treated them the same way. She gave them medicine. She stopped their pain. She treated them like they were human too. One Zethian soldier named Kreth was badly wounded. Susan saved his life. She nursed him back to health. Kreth had been a loyal soldier of the Zethian Empire for 20 years. He believed in his government. But Susan showed him something different. "Why do you help me?" Kreth asked one day. "I am your enemy." Susan smiled. "You are not my enemy. You are a person who is hurt. That is enough." Kreth stayed in the hospital for 3 months. During that time, he learned about humanity. He learned that humans had families too. He learned that humans did not hate him. They did not want war. They just wanted to protect their homes. When Kreth got better, he did something that shocked everyone. He refused to go back to the Zethian army. He told his commanders that the war was wrong. He told them that humans were good people. The Zethian leaders tried to punish him, but Kreth escaped. He went to the human side. He gave the human army information about Zethian military plans. He helped humans win more battles. One alien had chosen humanity over his own empire. Stories like this spread across the galaxy. Every news station told them. Other alien species heard them. They heard about Kevin Stone. They heard about Victoria Grant. They heard about Susan Porter and Kreth. These were not just military stories. They were stories about human spirit. They showed that humans were not just fighters. Humans were people who had honor. Humans would sacrifice for each other. Humans would show kindness even to enemies. The Zethian Empire realized something terrible. They had started a war against an enemy they did not understand. This enemy was not weak. This enemy had something that could not be defeated with big ships and powerful weapons. This enemy had a will to survive. This enemy had hope. And hope, it turned out, was stronger than any weapon ever made. The Galactic Council had been watching the war between humans and the Zethian Empire with growing concern. The Council was very old. It had kept peace in the galaxy for thousands of years. The Council members were from the most advanced alien species in the galaxy. There was Elder Vox. He represented the Velson, a species of tall, thin beings with great wisdom. There was Commander Thrace. She represented the Kareth, warriors who had fought in many battles. There was Sage Morin. He represented the Quinnell, scientists who understood technology better than anyone. When the Zethian Empire first attacked humanity, the Council did not think it was important. The Council thought the Zethians would crush the humans easily. The Zethians were strong. They had been part of the galaxy for 300 years. Humans were new. Humans had only been in space for 50 years. But then the reports came in. The Zethians lost battle after battle. The humans were winning. The humans were fighting harder than any species the Council had ever seen. Elder Vox decided to travel to Earth himself. He wanted to understand what was happening. He wanted to see these humans with his own eyes. When Vox arrived on Earth, he was surprised by what he found. The planet was damaged from the war. There were burned cities. There were broken buildings. But there was something else too. There was hope. There was rebuilding. People were working together to fix their world. Vox visited a hospital where wounded soldiers were being treated. He saw doctors and nurses working without rest. They had been awake for days. But they did not give up. They kept treating patients. They knew that every soldier they saved could go back and fight for Earth. Vox talked to a young woman named Emma Davis. She was a nurse. She had lost her husband in the war, but she was still helping soldiers who had lost arms or legs or eyes. She helped them learn to live with their wounds. "Why do you help them?" Vox asked. "Your people are at war with the Zethians. These humans suffered for fighting." Emma looked at the old alien with sad eyes. "Because they need help," she said simply. "My husband died protecting Earth. These soldiers would do the same thing. The least I can do is help them live." Vox also visited a school for young people. He saw children learning about science and math. The teachers were preparing them to help in the war. But the teachers were also preparing them for a future when there would be no war. A Young boy named Christopher stood up in class. He was only 12 years old. "When the war ends, I want to be a builder," Christopher said. "I want to rebuild all the cities that were destroyed. I want to make Earth beautiful again." The teacher smiled. "That is a good dream, Christopher. We will need builders like you." Vox realized something important. These humans did not fight because they were forced to. They did not fight because they hated the Zethians. They fought because they loved their homes. They fought to protect their families and their future. Vox went to see Admiral Marcus Cole at Earth Command. The Admiral was tired. The war had been long, but his eyes still burned with determination. "Tell me something," Vox said. "Why do your people fight so hard? You are not the strongest species. You do not have the best weapons, but you keep fighting." Marcus looked at the alien visitor. He thought about how to answer. "We fight because this is our home," Marcus said. "We fight for our children. We fight because we have something the Zethians do not have. We have each other. We are willing to sacrifice everything for the people we love. That is what makes humans strong." Vox traveled to the front lines of the war. He saw human soldiers fighting in terrible conditions. They were cold. They were hungry. They were scared. But they fought anyway. He saw a soldier named Robert Williams help a wounded enemy Zethian soldier to the medical station. The Zethian had tried to kill Robert, but Robert did not let that stop him from helping. "Why did you save him?" Vox asked. Robert shrugged. "He was hurt. I could help. That was enough for me." Vox began to understand. Humans were not like other species. They were dangerous not because of their weapons. They were dangerous because they would never give up. They would never surrender. They would keep fighting even when victory seemed impossible. And they would do this out of love for their home and their people. Vox returned to the Galactic Council. He brought stories to share. He told them about Kevin Stone, the engineer who sacrificed himself. He told them about Victoria Grant, who saved her soldiers with bravery and intelligence. He told them about Susan Porter, who showed kindness to an enemy. He told them about the children who dreamed of rebuilding. He told them about soldiers who helped wounded enemies. The council listened carefully. "These humans are different," Vox said. "They are not like us. They are newer. They are stronger in ways we did not expect. The Zethian Empire made a terrible mistake. They provoked a species that would fight to the end for what they believe in." Commander Thrace leaned forward. "What do you recommend?" "I recommend that we stop this war immediately," Vox said. "If we do not, humanity will grow stronger still. And one day, they may not just defend themselves. They may become a threat to the peace of the entire galaxy. I have seen what a determined human can do. I can only imagine what millions of determined humans can do." The council voted. They agreed with Elder Vox. They sent a message to the Zethian Empire. The message was clear: stop the war now, or face intervention from the Galactic Council. The message changed everything. The Zethian Empire knew that if the Council sent its own military force, they would be destroyed. They had no choice. They had to accept defeat. But as Admiral Krell read the message, he understood something bitter. Humanity had won. Not through superior weapons, not through superior numbers, but through the strength of the human spirit. That was something no empire could defeat. The message from the Galactic Council reached Admiral Krell as his fleet was preparing for a final massive attack. He read it 3 times. Each time, his anger grew. But his anger could not change the facts. He could not fight the Galactic Council. No one in the galaxy could. Krell called his commanders together. They sat in the war room, looking at maps of human territory and Zethian positions. "The Council has ordered us to stop the war," Krell said. His voice was cold and hard. "We can win," one commander said. "Give us 6 months." We will crush them." "No," Krell said. "The Council will send its own forces if we do not obey. We will retreat." The word felt like poison in his mouth. Retreat. Defeat. The Zethian Empire, the mighty Zethian Empire, was being forced to run from humans. But Admiral Krell had one more plan. One final move. He gathered every weapon his fleet had. Every ship. Every soldier. He would attack Earth directly. One massive attack. If he could destroy Earth, he could destroy the human will to fight. If Earth was gone, the scattered human colonies would surrender. Captain Lisa Harper was on Earth when the Zethian fleet appeared. She was in Admiral Marcus Cole's command center, looking at the reports of the incoming attack. "This is it," Marcus said. "Everything. They have sent everything they have." But humans had not been sleeping during the war. Humans had been preparing. Every day, Earth scientists and engineers made better weapons. Every day, human pilots trained harder. Every day, human soldiers studied how to fight the Zethins. Captain Derek Walsh was already in space with a full squadron of fighters. Behind him were battlecruisers led by Commander Sarah Mitchell. Behind them were hundreds of defense stations on Earth itself. "All forces, listen," Marcus said over the radio. "This is our final battle. Everything we have fought for comes down to this moment. Today, we defend our home. Today, we show the galaxy what humans can do. Today, we win." Derek's fighters launched first. They flew in perfect patterns. Each pilot knew what every other pilot was doing. They had trained together for years. They moved like one organism, not like separate ships. The Zethian fleet was huge. It had 50 warships. It had 200 smaller attack ships. It had weapons that could destroy cities. But it did not have what humans had. It did not have the will to protect a home. The first attack was vicious. Zethian weapons fired from all directions. But the human pilots were ready. They had learned every trick the Zethians knew. They had invented new tricks of their own. Derek flew low under a Zethian warship. He fired his weapons. The ship's shield cracked. 2 more pilots flew past and fired again. The shield broke. "They are not invincible," Derek said over the radio. The battle grew bigger. Battle cruisers moved into position. Sarah Mitchell's ship, the HMS Liberty, fired its weapons. The shot was perfect. A Zethian warship lost power in one of its engines, on Earth. In the defense stations, soldiers watched the battle on screens. They saw their friends and family fighting in space. They saw humans dying. But they also saw humans winning. One by one, Zethian ships were damaged. Some were destroyed. The Zethians had more ships, but they could not coordinate like humans could. They could not think as fast. They did not have the creativity of human pilots and commanders. Lisa watched from the command center. She saw Derek's fighter take damage. For a moment, she was afraid. Then Derek's fighter moved again. He was still fighting. Admiral Krell watched from his ship. He saw that he was losing. His commanders were shocked. They had believed they were invincible. They had believed that their weapons and their numbers would crush any enemy. They had been wrong. 2 hours into the battle, Krell made a decision. He would retreat. He would live to fight another day. But deep in his heart, he knew there would be no other day. The Zethian Empire had faced humans, and humans have refused to lose. Krell sent the order. All Zethian ships were to retreat. They were to return to Zethian space. The Zethian fleet turned and fled. The humans did not chase them. Lisa had ordered Derek not to pursue. She knew that a fleeing enemy was a dangerous enemy. She also knew that the war was over. When the final Zethian ship left human space, the celebration on Earth was like nothing anyone had ever seen. People came out into the streets. They danced. They cried. They hugged strangers. Humans had faced an empire and won. 3 weeks later, peace talks began on a neutral planet. Lisa Harper was there, along with Admiral Marcus Cole. They sat across from Zethian representatives. The talks were difficult, but both sides knew the truth. Humanity was no longer the weak species everyone had thought they were. The peace treaty was signed. Trade agreements were opened. The Zethian Empire agreed to respect human space. More important, they agreed to tell every species in the galaxy about what had happened. They told about a young species called humanity that had faced extinction and refused to die. Lisa returned to Kepler Station. The colony had been rebuilt. New buildings stood where old ones had burned. New people arrived from Earth. The scientific work started again. But something was different now. Other species came to Earth. They wanted to study humans. They wanted to understand what made humans so strong. Young aliens from 100 different worlds came to Earth to learn. Lisa watched human soldiers train alongside Zethian soldiers. The Zethian commander, a young officer named Jorn, was working with Lisa to build something new. Something that had never existed before. An alliance based on mutual respect. Why do you think humans are so strong? Jorn asked Lisa one day. Lisa looked at the two groups of soldiers training together. They were different. Different species. Different worlds. But they worked as one team. We are strong because we do not fight alone, Lisa said. We are strong because we protect each other. We are strong because we believe that everyone is worth protecting. That is what the Zethian Empire did not understand. That is what no enemy can defeat. Jorn nodded. He understood now. The story of the human victory spread across the galaxy. And with it spread a warning. A message that every species in the galaxy needed to hear. A message about a young species that had learned how to fight. A message about courage and sacrifice and hope. The message was simple and true. It was spoken in every language across the stars. It was spoken in silence and in strength. It said, "Please do not ever provoke the humans."